There is a simple truth about life that is so simple, in fact, that we overlook it. We believe the road to a better life is complex, hidden, and requires special formulas and secret knowledge. But the map is not complicated. The path is clear. The truth is this: your life today is the sum total of the choices you made yesterday. And the life you will have tomorrow is being decided, right now, by the choices you are making today. The myth we must break here is the myth of the free pass. The myth that you can have one kind of input and a different kind of output. The myth that the easy road leads anywhere but to a harder destination. We have been sold a story that success is a sudden event. We see the grand opening, the book on the shelf, the product launch, the promotion. We see the culmination, and we mistake it for the whole story. But that is not where the story began. The story began in the quiet, invisible hours that no one celebrates. It began in the choices that felt insignificant at the time. The choice to read instead of watch. The choice to draft the first paragraph instead of scrolling through another feed. The choice to ask the difficult question in the meeting instead of nodding silently. The choice to go for a walk when you didn't feel like it. This is the invisible architecture of a life. It is built not with grand gestures, but with small, consistent, seemingly easy decisions that are, in fact, profoundly difficult because they require you to act against the current of your immediate feelings. There is a principle at work here, a law as dependable as gravity. It is the law of preparation meeting opportunity. You do not control when opportunity will knock. That is not your domain. Your domain, your entire responsibility, is the condition of the room on the other side of that door. Is it ready? Is it ordered? Have you stocked the shelves with knowledge? Have you strengthened the foundations with skill? Have you swept the floors of your mind clean of excuses? When you focus on the preparation, the opportunity becomes inevitable. It is not luck. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Yes, but we misunderstand that. We think it's a 50-50 proposition. It is not. Preparation tilts the scale. It makes the meeting not a chance encounter, but a destined rendezvous. The person who has done the invisible work is not hoping for an opportunity to come. They are waiting for it. There is a calm certainty in that posture. And this is where pressure becomes our greatest teacher. Pressure does not create your character. Pressure reveals it. It strips away the facade and shows you what you have been building in those invisible hours. Let me give you two examples. Consider two individuals facing the same professional setback. A major project fails, a client walks away. The first person has built a pattern of blaming external circumstances. Their invisible work has been the crafting of excuses, the rehearsal of grievances. Under pressure, that pattern is revealed. They lash out. They complain. They see themselves as a victim of an unfair world. The second person has built a pattern of solution finding. Their invisible work has been the steady study of their craft, the habit of self-assessment. Under that same pressure, a different pattern is revealed. They become quiet, analytical. They ask, what part did I play in this? What can I learn? What is the very next step? The pressure did not make them this way. It simply showed them, and everyone else, who they had already chosen to become through 1,000 prior, easier choices. This is why you must guard your focus like it is the most precious currency you possess. Because it is. Distraction is the thief of all progress. It is the salesman of easy choices. It offers you entertainment when you need education. It offers you gossip when you need growth. It offers you the temporary relief of not thinking about the hard thing you must do. And each time you pay that thief with your attention, you are bankrupting your future self. Focus is not about having a blank mind. It is about having a directed mind. It is the application of your mental energy toward a single point, like sunlight through a magnifying glass. Diffused light gives warmth. Focused light creates fire. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the news of the world or the blueprint of your world? Are you focusing on the opinions of others or the development of your own philosophy? That focus, that daily choice of where to place your attention, is the steering wheel of your life. And this leads us to the natural sequence of growth. It is not a mysterious process. It is a learnable, repeatable cycle. You first learn. You take in a new idea, a new skill, a new perspective. But learning alone is merely entertainment for the mind. It must be followed by application. You must do the thing. You must try. You must practice. You must implement. Then, you must have the courage to evaluate. How did that go? What worked? What did not? Be brutally honest with yourself. This is not about self-judgment. It is about reconnaissance. Then, you correct. You adjust your approach. You refine the skill. You edit the plan. And then, you persist. You go through the cycle again. Learn, apply, evaluate, correct, persist. This is the engine of improvement. It is turned by the hand of discipline, not by the wind of motivation. Because motivation is a fair-weather friend. It comes and goes with your mood, with the weather, with the praise of others. Discipline is the covenant you make with yourself, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is the system that operates in the absence of motivation. You do not need to feel like doing your work. You need a system that ensures the work gets done whether you feel like it or not. This is the ultimate transfer of power from the external to the internal. You are no longer a passenger in your own life, waiting for the right feeling to arrive. You are the captain, following the set course. The feeling may come later, as a result of the action, but it is not a prerequisite. The prerequisite is the decision, the choice. And here we find the core of our simple truth. The easy choice is to wait for motivation. The hard choice, the one that builds the good life, is to act on discipline. This requires a strategic patience. We live in a world of instant everything, and so we have come to expect instant growth. It does not work that way. A farmer does not plant a seed in the spring and pace the field in frustration in the summer because there is no harvest. He understands the seasons. He understands that there is a time for planting, a time for tending, a time for waiting, and a time for reaping. Your goals are no different. There is a season for learning the fundamentals. That season may feel slow. There is a season for practicing in obscurity. That season may feel lonely. There is a season where your efforts seem to yield no visible result. That is the critical season. That is the season where most people make the easy choice. They conclude the seed is dead. They dig it up. They abandon the field. They never see the harvest that was just beneath the surface, gathering its strength. Strategic patience is not passive waiting. It is active faith. It is continuing the disciplined work while understanding the timeline of the crop you have planted. How do you know you are on the right track during these seasons of patience? You measure. You seek feedback. Feedback is the compass for your corrections. You must have a way to measure your progress, or you are navigating in the fog. This is not about measuring yourself against someone else's finished product. That is a recipe for despair. This is about measuring yourself against your own previous standard. Are you better today than you were 3 months ago? Is your understanding deeper? Is your skill sharper? Is your character stronger? Find the metrics that matter. Then, refine. Refinement is the art of making small adjustments based on that feedback. It is sanding the rough edges. It is tightening the dialogue. It is improving the process by 1%. Do not despise the small refinements. They are the molecules of mastery. And as you do this, as you learn, apply, evaluate, correct, persist with discipline, with patience, with refinement, a powerful force begins to work in your favor. Momentum, the flywheel effect. Imagine a massive, heavy flywheel. At first, to get it moving, you must push with all your might. You push, and for a long time, nothing seems to happen. You are pouring energy into a seemingly stationary object. But you persist. You keep pushing in a consistent direction. And then, imperceptibly at first, it begins to turn. Once it makes a full rotation, you push again. It goes a little faster. Another push, another rotation, a little faster still. Each turn builds upon the work of the previous turns. And then, at a certain point, the momentum takes over. The flywheel spins with a powerful, self-sustaining force of its own. Your early efforts were not wasted. They were storing kinetic energy. Your life works the same way. Those early days of discipline, where nothing seems to change, are you pushing the flywheel? The breakthrough is not the first push. It is the point where momentum takes over. But you must get through those initial, arduous pushes. You must choose the hard push over the easy rest. This changes the very goal. The goal is no longer just the breakthrough. The goal becomes the person you become in the process. The goal becomes the lifestyle of disciplined choice. Because when you live this way, you experience an emotional elevation that no single achievement can provide. It is the elevation of self-respect. It is the deep, quiet knowledge that you can count on yourself. That is when you say you will do a thing, you do it. That is when a challenge arises. You have the patterns within you to meet it. That's when opportunity knocks. Your room is ready. This confidence is unshakable because it was earned, not given. It was forged in the daily decision to do what was right, not what was easy. So let us be clear about the simple truth. The hard life is not the life of struggle toward a goal. That is a meaningful life. The hard life is the life of consequences that comes from taking the easy way out. The hard life is the life of regret, of financial pressure, of poor health, of unfulfilled potential. Life is built on a consistent pattern of easy choices. Choosing to sleep in. Choosing to spend what you have not earned. Choosing to speak instead of listening. Choosing resentment over forgiveness. Choosing distraction over direction. Each one feels easier in the moment. Each one quietly, inexorably, builds a prison of limitation. The good life, the life of strength and contribution and peace, is also built by a consistent pattern. But these are the harder choices in the moment. Choosing to rise early and plan your day. Choosing to save and invest. Choosing to work thoroughly when no one is watching. Choosing to listen to understand. Choosing to forgive and release the debt. Choosing to turn away from the distraction and face the work. Each one requires a small act of courage. Each one feels slightly more difficult as you make it. But each one builds, brick by brick, a palace of possibility. You are the architect of both structures, the prison or the palace. And your construction material is the same, your daily choices. Do not misunderstand difficulty. The difficulty of discipline is of a different quality than the difficulty of regret. The difficulty of discipline is acute, temporary, and empowering. It is the difficulty of a workout. It leaves you stronger. The difficulty of regret is chronic, lingering, and diminishing. It is the difficulty of a chronic injury. It leaves you weaker. You will experience difficulty either way. The question is, which difficulty do you choose to pay for? The upfront price of discipline or the downstream cost of regret? Let us bring this into the practical light of your everyday life. Tomorrow morning, you will be presented with the first easy choice. The alarm will sound. In that foggy, warm space between sleep and wakefulness, the negotiation will begin. 5 more minutes. It's just 5 minutes. It's the easy choice. That is the first brick. If you choose to place that brick in the wall of your prison, you have set the tone for a day of easy choices. You will rush. You will skip the planning. You will react instead of act. You will choose fast food over good fuel because it's easier. You will choose gossip over silence because it's easier. You will choose entertainment over learning because it's easier. And at the end of that day, you will feel a subtle, hollow dissatisfaction. You will have paid for that first easy choice with the currency of your potential. Now, imagine a different choice. The alarm sounds. You feel the same temptation, but you remember the simple truth. You remember the two structures you are building. You choose the harder choice in the moment. You rise. You place that brick in the foundation of your palace. You have time. You drink water. You review your plan. You move with intention. Because you started with a disciplined choice, the next one becomes slightly easier. You choose the better food. You choose the focused work. You choose the learning. You choose the kind word. And at the end of that day, you lay your head down with a different feeling. A feeling of quiet strength. A feeling of integrity. You paid the upfront price. And the return on that investment is peace. This is the most personal work you will ever do. No one can make these choices for you. No one can give you the discipline. They can encourage you, but they cannot install the system within you. That is your sacred responsibility. To yourself. To your future. To whatever purpose you feel called toward. You must become the disciplined guardian of your own potential. You must see time not as something to be killed, but as something to be invested. You must see effort not as a tax to be avoided, but as capital to be deployed. I want you to ask yourself a question and answer with raw honesty. Where in your life are you consistently making the easy choice and calling it a necessity? Where are you telling yourself, it's just easier this way, while building a harder life for your future self? Is it with your finances? Is it with your health? Is it with the relationships you are neglecting? Is it with the skill you are not developing? Is it with the anger you are not releasing? Identify that one area. Just one. Do not overwhelm yourself with the whole picture. Find the single, recurring, easy choice that is costing you the most. Now, design the antidote. Design one harder choice to replace it. Make it simple. Make it clear. If the easy choice is buying coffee out every day, the harder choice is to make it at home 4 days a week. If the easy choice is scrolling before bed, the harder choice is to place your phone in another room and read 10 pages of a book. If the easy choice is avoiding a difficult conversation, the harder choice is to schedule it and show up. One discipline, one replacement. This is how you begin to change the trajectory. You do not need to overhaul your entire life today. You need to win one negotiation with yourself. Then, tomorrow, win it again. The palace is built one disciplined choice at a time. There will be days you fail. You will choose the easy path. That is part of the process. That is data, not destiny. When that happens, do not compound the error with self-condemnation. That is just another easy choice, to collapse into guilt. The harder, more useful choice is to evaluate. Why did I choose that? What was I feeling? What can I put in place to make the disciplined choice easier next time? Then, correct. And persist. Get back to the cycle. The person who never stumbles is not taking enough risk. Your integrity is not measured by never falling. It is measured by how quickly you get back to the path. Dust yourself off, and continue walking in the direction of your standards. This is the long game. This is the cultivation of a legacy, not just the chasing of a result. Your legacy will not be a single trophy on a shelf. It will be the echo of your choices in the lives of those who come after you. It will be the example you set of what it means to live with intention. It will be the strength of character you modeled when times were challenging. You are creating that echo right now. With every decision to do what is right over what is easy, you are tuning the frequency of that echo. Make it a clear, strong, noble sound. So begin where you are. You do not need a new month, a new week, or even a new day. The next time you are faced with a choice, and you will be, perhaps in the next hour, see it for what it is. A brick. Which wall are you building? The choice may seem small. It may seem insignificant. But do not be deceived. It is in these small battlegrounds that the war for your life is won or lost. Choose the harder right over the easier wrong. Pay the small price of discipline now, so you do not have to pay the devastating compound interest of regret later. This is the simple truth. It is not a mystery. It is a law. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. The variable is you. The power is in your choice. The time is now.